Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about a very important topic, which is the power of your concentration and who is getting your attention. And talking about attention, thank you so much for taking a few moments to give me some of your attention on this video. I realize we all have a certain amount of time, so I really appreciate you staying with me, and I encourage you to stay to the end of this video because I'm going to give you some important tips on how to increase your attention span and why that's so important. So if you're new here, my name is Susan Caroline, and I want to thank you so much for joining me. I like to talk about consciousness, the law of assumption, and just basically living your best life. And especially if you're like me, you're over 50 and you want to live with everything you have right now. So have you ever thought about how we go about our day? We have to give our attention to multiple things. But if we really want to change our life, we have to think about what we're giving attention to and the power of our concentration. So in today's world, it's really easy to have our concentration diluted. So think about a concentrate. It's something that's had most of the water removed from it. I looked it up actually this morning, and it's super potent. So for example, if you get an orange juice concentrate, that small amount of orange concentrate, it can be diluted to make so much more than what came in the container. It's all about the concentration. And it's the same way with you. Your concentration is able to bring out so much more into reality than we can actually see. And our concentration is important, our attention is important, and that's why so many people, they're trying to get hold of your attention. Marketers, people wanting you to consume their products. They want your attention because they know, as the old saying goes, that where attention goes, that's where your energy flows. So it's important not to allow your attention to be watered down, because absolutely everything that we create, it comes from concentration. And think about it today, many people today aren't able to concentrate. Maybe you're one of them. You only have a concentration for a few seconds because we're consuming so much information that we can only do it for a few seconds at a time. However, the more you concentrate on something, the bigger that thing is going to become and the more powerful that thing is going to become. And that's why it's so important to develop your concentration. So if we would only concentrate our energies in order to bring about a particular aim, I think we'd be absolutely amazed at how we saw the fulfillment of that thing materialize before our very eyes rather than going back and forth, right? So the secret is tapping into the power of God's presence, the I am presence within you, the real you. And when you do that and you focus your aim on any one particular thing, that thing, it's going to grow, it's going to create energy, it's going to grow very quickly. So for example, just suppose that you wanted to learn how to play the piano. When you start concentrating on the I am a wonderful pianist, before long, you're going to start seeing that reality of that start to take shape about you. And the more you start to concentrate on, becoming one with that thought of I am a wonderful pianist, then the more your subconscious mind is going to give you that desire to start practicing and the desire to start effortlessly moving your fingers, across the keyboard. And the desired reality of I am a wonderful pianist is going to literally become your reality. But however, you think about in this day with tons of short form content, which is mostly just about entertainment and not so much about growing your latent power or education or anything like that, your mind will often rebel, right, against concentrating on any one thing in particular. So if you are still with me so far in this video, I really applaud you for staying here and concentrating on what I'm saying. But however, if you want to become, whatever you want to become, you have to focus your full attention, your full concentration on that thing. You've got to tap into the power of I am within you and not allow yourself to become distracted, okay? So if you've watched some of my other videos, you know that I talk a lot about becoming childlike, about using your imagination. I just believe that's so important. I'll try and link a video up here somewhere about becoming childlike, okay? Because I believe that is the key to the kingdom of heaven. And Jesus talked about this often, about the importance of being like a little child. Because you think about children, they're not like multitasking. They're normally completely involved in one thing, just one thing at a time. And if we want to get back to increasing our attention span and creating, then we need to focus on becoming like a kid again and stop having to multitask everything all the time. I'm not saying like never multitask, but I'm saying we do that all the time. And also allow yourself to become bored. I know, yes, you heard me right. Allow yourself to become bored, because you see, your ego, it always wants something to stimulate it. It's like restless. Many times it's going to sabotage us because it's designed to keep us safe and then, not necessarily help us grow as people. It wants us to stay where we are. So when we allow our ego to become a master. When I say our ego, I'm talking about the persona that you're playing here on earth. Like, for example, like I'm Susan Caroline and you are. But however, the true you, the real you lives inside. And you are one with God, like the eternal I am. As we're told, the Christ lives within us, and that's our hope of glory. And I looked up like what glorious means, and it means like magnificent, like incredible life, beauty, like noteworthy achievements. And I don't know about you, but that's what I want my life to be. But it also talks about in the scriptures how our ego, our persona, it can be like driven and tossed by the wind. It's wanting this one day, it's wanting that the next day. It's like double-minded, it's unstable. It's just being that double-minded and always switching back and forth and not being able to concentrate on one thing at a time. So if you want to start tapping into who we truly are and start manifesting this kingdom of God on earth that's within us, in other words, bringing things out of the unseen realm into the seen realm, then we need to start using the power of our concentration and not allow ourselves to be sidetracked. So we all know, think about this, like in the physical world, if we want to be in shape, we can't just say, hey, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to work out once. We need to basically give it our attention. We need to continually focus on that in order to manifest that into the physical world. We need to concentrate our efforts on that. And I was thinking about this, like if you've watched the movie Back to the Future, there's like a great example of this. And I can remember Michael J. Fox's character, Marty McFly, he has got to bring his parents back together in the 1950s in order for him to be born. I love that movie. And he has to put his full concentration on making sure this happens. And there's a great scene at the high school dance towards the end of the movie when he's not actually sure if his parents are going to actually get together. And Marty, he's like playing guitar, like on the stage, right? And his body starts to blink, like in and out of reality. It's like he has become this quantum possibility. However, as he begins to concentrate on making sure his parents come together, his physical body starts to become solid again. And it's I was thinking that's kind of like with us, whatever we're concentrating on, at first it can be blinking in and out of this reality, but then it starts materializing as we start to give it our attention. It's literally going to start happening right there, because we all have this amazing creative potential inside of us, but it's up to us to really put our full attention right on whatever it is that we desire to create. So becoming conscious and mindful and putting your full concentration upon the present moment, it literally is where your power lies. It's right there in the present moment. And I want to throw out a challenge, and that is for you to start asking the presence within you, the I am, to start bringing you back to this present moment over and over again, and to wake you up, right? And to remind you that you need to concentrate and you've got to bring your attention back to the present. And from there you can start creating. You see, we can't create anything outside of the present moment. And if you want to change your life, it has to be in the present. So I want to give you a few tips here on how to increase the power of your concentration, so your ability to create things is not going to be diminished and watered down, okay? We want it to be concentrated. So number one, I'd say stop multitasking and enjoy doing things one at a time. Now, I know it might be hard to do, but when we start becoming more mindful, we increase the power of our concentration, and we can also start to be more fully aware of what we're actually doing and be like a child, become fascinated, okay? So it's all how we choose to see our life. I can remember when I was a kid, I read this story about Tom Sawyer and how he had to paint this fence as a punishment. And in the story, Tom has to like spend the entire afternoon painting like this fence, right? But instead of being a horrible thing, he decides to concentrate into making this something so incredible and fun that all the kids in the neighborhood actually want to start paying him in order to take turns like to paint this fence. It's all about perspective. So think about if there are things that bore you, think of it as a game. Think that you're actually using this particular thing in order to grow your attention, in order to increase your concentration and your ability to create, and to the ability to enjoy your life and to realize that there is this amazing power within you. And also taking some time every day to meditate, that's going to really help with your concentration, just by choosing like to slow down and observe your thoughts and become the watcher behind them, and to realize that you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness. You are the awareness, the presence of I am looking out through you. It literally all comes back to, asking yourself the question, who do you say that I am? And who do you say that you are? Like, what are you speaking over yourself? What are you concentrating on? Where is your attention? It's just so important to bring your attention back and to become aware about that. My desire is I really want to help you to awaken, to understand who you really are, that you're the presence of God, having an experience as a human, and that God lives within you and is always with you. You can never be separated from God. We can only be separated from God in our minds, in our concentration, right? So if you want to focus and give your full attention on something, I encourage you to focus and give your full attention to the presence of God within you, knowing that you are the I am, living through the persona of whoever you are. And I think about this is what Jesus knew, that he and the Father were one, and that's what he prayed for everybody else, that they too would know that they are one, just as he and the Father were one. It's he literally gave his full attention, his full concentration to that fact, and that grew within him. And when you start giving your full attention to the presence within you, to the I am presence, and knowing, who you truly are, that's when things are going to start turning around from you, and you're going to start changing. Life is going to be so much more exciting than you can even possibly imagine. So rather than looking for things outside yourself to make you happy, you're going to realize, right, that the kingdom of heaven was inside you all the time. I always say too that the power to transform your life was inside you all the time. This is like the pearl of great price. So it's all about what you're concentrating on, because you are one with the Creator. You are the Creator having an experience, the Creator's having an experience through you. However, just as I said at the beginning of this video, when we lose that concentration, when we become diluted and watered down, it's not going to be so potent. We start trying to create things from this persona rather from the presence of I am. So we need to put our full attention on who we really are and tap into the presence within. Put your full attention on that and watch to see how your life changes. It's just so careful. It's just, we've got to be really careful about what we give our attention to and what we're calling ourselves. So I choose to say about myself, I'm loving, I am caring, I am kind, I'm wealthy, I'm peaceful, I am health, I am all good things, and so are you. So I just want to leave you with that, guys. I thank you so much for watching to now, to staying with me, for giving me your attention, for giving me your concentration. And I want to remind you that the power to transform your life, it's already within you. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.